Hi, everybody. You're on Live with Neve. I'm not sure what happened. Julie has disappeared out into somewhere. I think it's Halloween shit going live. Can you believe that? Well, here, let me get back over to the brand stuff. Um, Julie will be returning shortly, I'm sure. Okay, tonight it's Neil at the wheel. Julie will be back in a moment. And I'm going to bring on my pal, Mr. Irish from Detroit.
Oh
What's
shit!
happening?
How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm good, man. Working like a redheaded stepchild, but I guess I am a redheaded stepchild, so
Well,
there's
there you
that.
go, man. Hopefully, there's nobody beating on you today, so that's always a good thing.
No, I managed to escape that today, but I've been alone most of the day, so I guess that's why.
There's still time.
Don't remind me.
You were talking Halloween stuff. You haven't seen Scary, I've got a mother-in-law that makes Mother Superior look like a lightweight. Let me tell you,
Damn, that's
dominus.
yeah.
So,
They don't use the ruler; they use the yardstick that was made of metal. I understand.
oh yeah, they like that thing. Some kids grow up to enjoy that type of treatment. That's what you do at the Halloween. When they come to the door. And this is real Halloween, kid.
What about a zombie nun? Has that ever
Yeah,
happened?
that would be. Yeah, it has. I've seen it in a zombie movie. There's
All
pretty
right.
sure that sticks something in my. God only knows. Half the ones you see, I'm like, man, I'm just gonna go down and get like a big ass pickup truck, like with a huge snowplow on the front of it, and I'm just going where I want to.
Yeah, we're just gonna weld. We're gonna weld the panels on the side of it, make the porch so you can take the chainsaw and cut the little beasties off of there. Yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah, whatever, man. Whatever it takes. We have to have only the creative and strong will survive.
All right, I think we'll be okay.
So we are here. Let me see if there's. I see Rick was here. I don't know what's happening. I've got incredibly poor reception. Can you hear me okay?
Oh yeah, you're great.
Good.
Your voice actually sounds radio-ish tonight. You have that great deep.
Well, yes.
The humidity
Today,
is
for
just
whatever
perfect.
reason, my voice is feeling good. I don't know why. Some days it's better than others. In the old days, I'd have to have a little, and that would free them up nicely.
It tends to do that.
Yeah. I mean, if you're singing with it, oh my God, you can tear up your throat so bad if you drink.
Yeah, because
When I
you don't
drink,
feel it anyway. But that stuff
when
does.
I drink
People don't
bourbon,
know how much that actually hurts the next day.
that hurts you bad over a long period of time. And another thing, most people will go to horror stories, my hearing for one. When you drink a lot, it slows down the mechanism in your ear that acts as a normal, like a compression factor, where if there's a sound that can harm the cilia in your ear canal, your ears usually clamp down. But if something happens when you're intoxicated, you have a slower response time. So what happens is that natural physiological mechanism that occurs, it's too slow, so you
Oh,
get hit with this wall of energy or even response. Hence, you get long-term cochlear damage, and one of the reasons why people, if you abuse your ears, you'll pay, and your friends will always look at you and
yep.
go, "What?" It's like I want to
Huh?
buy a tomato. It's like, God, I'm sorry, your head looks like a potato. Always asking.
That's how you end up with the cauliflower ear.
Oh yeah, that's like Mike Tyson, man.
Yeah,
He's
philia,
under
good
the
word
bus.
too. A lot of people don't know what philia means. Ladies and gentlemen, do we
Yes,
have anybody
yes,
in the audience that knows what philia means?
yes, or where the place is as well,
Hmm,
the straits and all that stuff.
very good stuff.
Yeah, very cool stuff. So here's the Halloween scoop. I went over today. I'm sorry, Julie's missing at the moment, and I'm gonna have to kill her. The president of that cable company she has got to be like hiding probably.
Hmm.
They've been sued in like 30 states. They have a non-existent customer service staff, which of course they get on and they give you.
Uh oh. It seems that they have froze Neil in the process. So either that or he just petrified himself and turned into a zombie. He's currently
It's been
transforming
2 hours and
into a
then that's
zombie.
all right. Whatever's happening, it's some kind of paranormal activity.
Yeah, you
But
froze for a minute. You froze like a zombie. You're like,
there's some things you can do if you think about Halloween and we're afraid of all kinds of things. Now, I want to show some people this just for fun. Um, we are sponsored this week football man.
It looks like an 80s horror story.
Well, that's what it's kind of a 90s horror story.
Yep, it's got the good gore going. It's really freaking creepy.
It's cheap, it's creepy, and it tasted great. Less filling, tastes great. It was gluten free.
I don't know if
So
I'd
that's
eat
a
that one.
horror.
I'd be worried about that one. I'd like that's a sign there's salmonella in here.
No, he got a big slice, a triangle straight slice taken out of him. Gave him a smile. I could have made him look like the clown from Batman. Yeah.
Look,
Speaking of,
I mean Heath Ledger's Joker was like one of my all-time
yes,
favorite bad guys. Just man, what a
absolutely,
role.
absolutely. There's no doubt Heath was the man. He definitely had it going on, and everybody's told me. I only saw it once, and it blew me away. That was like the one time, and it's still one of the. It's very good. I like all the Batmans.
Mm-hmm.
They've all been, good. I think the first one still does it for me, man.
Michael Keaton.
Yeah, he was the best Batman. He just played it. There was something about his role, the way he embraced it, and he climbed
Well, I
up
think
into
when
that
it came out,
role.
everybody thought it was going to be like cheesy, and then that was it. It actually wasn't. It was actually a damn good film.
Oh, it was, and it had all the things you need in a good movie. Fast cars. A good-looking girl. The guy's always got to get the girl. That kind of stuff. And
Kim Basinger at that. Ooh.
mm,
Mm-hmm.
definitely, she's
So
still
where did
good,
you
man.
go? Did you go to? You went to like a film festival thing?
I did. I went to the Highlands Horror Film Festival last night and today, and my friend Rob Neller from the community here puts this together every year, and this was his third. Had a great bunch of films. It's really great seeing a lot of creative young people do in their off hours. Everybody likes to rag on kids, especially old guys, and they're always sitting around going, "Ah, the little bastards." They don't realize that old men have been saying this since time began, and the world
Mm-hmm.
figures it out. You'll end up standing on the road watching the trucks roll by, and you'll be 80 and go, "Wow, man, I remember how different it was when I was a young person."
Oh yeah.
I mean, I have to say, just looking at my life, it's so different than it was in the '60s when I was a kid.
Yep.
Just a real weird. We live in weird times, very crazy times.
Yeah, I mean, growing up in the 80s was probably like one of the best generations to grow up in because
Mm-hmm.
technology was booming. Everybody was still having fun. There wasn't this discourse. Even if you liked your politics or you didn't like them,
Yeah,
nobody
I
really
don't
gave a
recall.
shit.
I never ever sat and had people who I love completely lose their mind and go on either side. They just can go completely spaz, and I sometimes wonder if all the grown-ups leave the room when we get in a crowd of politicalized lunatics, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, God, I
You want
think
to talk about a horror story? Imagine going sitting
that's
down
what
in
I mean.
Washington. Ugh.
Oh, God, that should be a zombie flick. It's a good way to characterize them. Have our guy Parada, have him draw us a picture of Pelosi and the Democrats and the Republicans. Have a whole rogues gallery of zombies wandering around, bumping into
I
each
don't think
other.
Pelosi and McConnell are too far from being zombies. Aren't they like 300 years old?
Exactly. And McConnell's a creepy old bastard too.
Yeah,
He's a
he is. Yeah,
two-faced
he
son of a
is.
bitch if there ever was.
Yeah, he's a
And
creep.
that's the thing. Both parties are full of these scurrilous characters, and they're just in it for the bucks. And
Oh
I'm
yeah,
sorry,
of course they
it's
are.
all about cash. And I give them credit because man, they know how to hustle up money out of nothing. Well, out of us, but in both parties. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't just rag on one because they're so equally contemptible at times, and that's the problem. They've forced us into this dilemma where we have to make two bad choices. It's like at least a parliamentary system, perhaps you could have some reasonable way to boot somebody out if they suck. And I mean,
Well,
seriously,
it's like Dick Tracy. You remember the Dick Tracy movie? That's what it's
absolutely,
like. I mean, because if you look at like them all lined up, they look like Dick Tracy characters.
absolutely, absolutely. It looks like we have Julie coming back to take
Hello,
command of the
boys.
scene. Look at her.
Hello,
How
What are
are
you
Jules.
you?
doing over your bubbling cauldron? You look like you're cooking something up.
Hmm. Yes, about cooking something up to that fucking
I,
internet company.
I was just talking about them. I was actually putting a mojo on them. I'm giving them the Malocchio.
Hmm. Mhm. Yeah,
Fucking
yeah.
horns.
Have a fucking monopoly here. Can't we have zero choice? Have to stick with these losers. Anyways, so what are you guys up to? What are you talking about?
Listen,
Oh, we're just talking about horror stuff. We're talking about Neil's creepy meatballs, and
Ah, I see it behind him. Yes,
lovely. That is Mr. Meatloaf. I'll have you know.
Mr. Meatloaf. Yes.
Sir,
either that or
Sir
you took a
Meatloaf.
selfie and you got yourself into some dirty girls.
Yeah, no, you never know. That's happened a time or two.
So
It's
hey,
happened.
have
I
we
enjoyed myself.
have we seen? Did we get a chance to see your video and everything that you
No,
had to do
no.
yet? How about
You,
the
you. We
anything?
haven't done anything but sit and
Oh,
talk about you.
oh yeah, right.
Well, we did. We were talking about Halloween stuff.
Oh, well,
We
cool.
were
Yeah,
wondering if
we were
you.
talking how Halloween characters are comparable to politicians.
And
I don't
then
know.
we're
That's
talking
an
about having a
insult to
whole army.
Halloween
I want to make them
characters.
all zombies now and have them run around. They bump into each other down on the Senate floor, cracking into each other, and they're just stupid anyway. It's kind of what they do every day, isn't it? Really just wander
Yeah, well, I'll
around.
take 45 minutes talking about I'll yield my time to the gentleman to the left.
Oh my God, that's such a tedious like bunch of nonsense if you've ever seen it.
Oh
It
my
used to be
goodness.
fair because you had decent people up there, but now they're just a bunch of whores. I don't care what side they're on. They can't. Yeah, go away.
So you guys want to talk some more Halloween stuff and do
Yeah.
some Halloween stuff?
Mm,
All right. So
yes.
Neil, why don't you set this up? So you have been in attendance of the Highlands Horror Film Fest,
Yes,
and
I have.
we had a couple of gentlemen on Friday who were wonderful, and they were actors and directors taking part. So tell us
Yes.
before I put the showing all the films again that are playing.
Right.
What was your favorite?
Ah, my favorite film.
Sorry, didn't
That's
mean to put
okay.
you on
Don't
the
put me on the
spot.
spot. I just don't have my notes in front of me. But um, the film that we had previewed yesterday, of everything that I saw, and I didn't see all the movies, but the one that we previewed, uh, the first film we saw was exceptional. And I think of everything that was there, it had an edge in production, in directing, in keeping the plot short but tight and to the point. It's really
Hmm.
hard in a short time to say a lot, and they did a good
Yeah,
job with that. It's really essentially you're making a trailer for a movie. It's just a little long form for a trailer, but
sure.
essentially that's what you've got. I know, thinking about the 2 Minute Film Festival, which is coming up next year, actually next spring in Atlantic Highlands, that's where everybody has 2 months and they got 2 minutes. So you get 2 minutes, and I've thought about it and started doing one with the thought I'd have it done in a month. And to get the plot good enough to say it in 2 minutes, cutting it down to 20-second, 40-second bits to get that 2 minutes, it's harder than people think to be able to do it cogently with minimum use of words, and to write horror, to add an emotional layer of two or three characters, and then you've got the character of the monster, which is like, it's to what are your darkest fears? You start thinking about this stuff if you close your eyes
Right.
and you think, I'm alone here. Like, everybody's got one. One's like, being chased, or in my case, I'm like chasing them through the school with a mask on, chainsaw.
Irish,
That's
you?
my idea of what do you do?
Well, first off, like you got to understand, like there's different creepies.
Yes.
I thought about one earlier, and it was a damn good movie, and they had the radio in. They were like, "There's this creepy guy. He keeps calling me. Can we find his
Mm.
cell phone somewhere?" And then she gets the call back and said, "Get out of the house. The signal's coming from inside of your house."
Yeah, that's a great story. I
So
love
what
that
do you do
one.
yeah, that would be kind of like something I would like to have, those little surprise things where they hear it, but they don't see it yet. And I just think that's freaking cool.
That menacing tone. I noticed today, watching all the couple of films I saw today, the sound effects. When I look at my list, which will pop up in a minute, of who I saw and all that, clarifying, one of them, the sound was done really, really well. The production on it, when the body hit the floor and so forth,
When the body hit the
that
floor.
and the way,
Let the
yeah, and
bodies hit the floor.
hit the floor.
Hit the floor. Let
Exactly.
the bodies hit the floor. Sorry, go ahead.
There you go. That's
Just
okay.
had to have
That's
my
the theme
moment.
song for. Yeah, there you go.
Had to have my metal moment.
There you go, man. Rocking out, or hook 'em horns, or Malocchio.
So,
That's
well,
Italian thing.
so should
So
we go ahead and play the video? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
yes,
totally
no,
interrupting
that's
you.
fine. Actually, it's 8:16, so we should probably do a break and then come
Okay.
back and roll some video.
All right. Well,
By
I
the
got the
way,
perfect thing. Here we go.
Halloween. All right. That was some spooky stuff going on. Let me
So
tell
that
you.
was the film festival, right? Those were all the films in
Yes,
the festival
yes,
last night,
that
yesterday, and
is
today.
correct. And
Now,
we
does it
started
run long
doing.
enough for you to go see them all?
No, I didn't get to see them all. I had other tasks going on at the same time.
Right.
But I got to see a couple last night, and I got to see a couple today. And one that I have to make comment now that I saw the list. The Rage is a story. I don't want to give. Well, people
No
have seen it,
spoilers. No
so
spoilers.
no spoiler really. I will say this: it's a story. It's only got a couple of characters in it, and it's about a grandmother who's just all I could say is scenario is vaguely a girl comes home from college and just notices something's a little off about grandma. You never really know quite what. And she's having these vivid dreams where grandma's a psycho and murders her with syringe and stuff and has killed her grand. And the acting of the villain, middle-aged woman played the role, and she was like the ex-wife from hell. She played, I mean, fangs dripping with blood, man. You would find a scarier person alive than her. And she obviously is a bad grandma, and I'll leave it at that.
All right.
Wow. All
The
right. That sounds
acting
good.
that one really caught my eye. The Rage also caught my eye.
That isn't that the one you were just talking about, The Rage?
No, the one I was talking about today was, or just now, was for not for Roger. Yes, it was the Rage. I'm sorry, I'm getting confused. Yeah, the Rage is the one with the two people. Uh, the other one, trying to see, for Roger.
Okay.
That had the
And that
weird, like, the
had
finger
the
was pointing down at the weird house.
Yeah.
yes, that was really another exceptional film there. Just it had a spooky noir kind of vibe to
Oh,
it.
nice.
It kind of creeped me out. And the thing is, they have to say so much in such a short time
Right.
to make it cogent. It's harder than a lot of people think.
Yeah.
I will tell you, it felt great looking at all these young. It reminded me when I was in Full Sail, and I was like an old guy there. I was 30 years old when I went in. All the average goobs were around 25, and I felt really weird. But when we did it, we had our film festival. It was so exciting at the time, and I remember how, we were just like doing the shoot. We learned a lot how to, like we had to reshoot our whole film as a result of us not taking into account that when you shoot anybody out in the sun in Florida, you need makeup artists, and our makeup artist flaked on us. So the first time we went out, our talent
Wow,
was a
that's
big Russian
familiar.
guy, and he was out in the sun in ant bed, fire ants
Oh
biting him.
no.
And we rode
Oh.
around
Poor
to
guy.
do the shoot. He was so great. He was a gospel singer, and
Oh, God
it was
bless him.
amazing. at Full Sail, all the bands in my time all want. In my time, you little whippersnapper, we used to have like a rock and roll, very heavy rock and roll, heavy metal. What would you call it? Prog,
Mm-hmm.
rock and roll. But
Prog rock.
everybody, for the most part, was a really good rock and roller.
Nice.
Or
Awesome.
had definite skills. Like the ratio of people who were not pretty skilled as a musician was low. And that changed as time has changed, where people don't know what a guitar is anymore. They use a beat maker and some samples, and they crap it out and call it a record.
That's a horror story in and of itself.
Yeah, thank you. It really is. That's a nightmare.
Yeah,
So,
we could talk, Go ahead.
sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I was flitting off in another direction. Let's go ahead and run another clip.
So tell us about
821.
Okay.
Ask away.
So I was just going to say. So tell us, you were excited about tell us how they had it set up and everything.
Sure. Well, when you arrived out front, they had all of these creepy guys and things. And last night at night,
That's
when
so
you first
cool.
walked up, they had a couple of live actors out there with them. And there was a guy who was dressed up like Aqualung. And he was like this creepy dude sitting on the park bench. But I just thought it was a dead, stuffed guy over there. And I went over and was shooting some of the footage that I don't have now out of my... Buy a new video camera, and it doesn't shoot in dual mode, or it does, but I didn't have it turned on.
That's okay.
Then I couldn't find the files. But at any rate, the enthusiasm I saw these young people have was outstanding. Like, they were all young folks under 30, and they have it going on, No, nobody there had a Oscar-worthy finished product, but you could see it's like the smell of rock and roll when you get a band in the room, and you can just smell the rock and roll.
Yeah. Look, you bring those speakers in. That's a true story. You can smell it.
Oh yeah, feel it.
And I just could. It got me off their enthusiasm, its positivity, and how cool and how innocent it is. And that's something,
Before they're. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No.
I was
what were you going to say? That was too good to miss.
I was going to say something terrible. I was like, oh, you mean before their souls got sucked dry and from the business, and they were totally crushed.
The on the road back from Vegas.
And they're just totally crushed by the business and the industry to the point like
dreams and everything spent on 5 years working as a waiter, and then get, only offer you get, so you have to do some horrible deed for some horrible person.
Oh, that's awful. That's so awful.
How about we make a horror movie about
being an intern?
Producers. Oh yeah, about being an intern.
And Hollywood producers, you got it right there. Those two things.
Like that shit could get seriously dark.
It could get really dark.
What's fucked up is truth.
When we would tell interns that we call them what we would do is we wouldn't tell them shit, first off. We'd basically talk about them in the third person as if they weren't there.
That's fucked up, man.
Oh, yeah. We'd be like, will you send the love slave to go get lunch? And they'd be like,
fuck you, dude.
Around. Everybody in the room, nobody even reacts, because they know me, first off. And, they know that I'm going to terrorize this poor kid a little bit, but in a good-spirited way. I was never did anything mean to him, The poor guy, I felt sorry for him. He was a very famous producer's son.
Oh, no.
I've heard. And this kid probably fucked up everything he did in his life, and his dad mutts.
Oh, you did. It's okay. Just keep talking.
Never mind. Never mind. I don't have anything else to say about that subject.
No, that's who, huh?
Listen, yeah, he.
You did tell me the story.
Stolen. Yeah, I felt so bad for him. He called me to pick him up at the bus stop. And he's like, somebody stole my bike.
Oh, no.
He just didn't tell.
Fight for it. I was like, he goes, the guy was going to punch me.
I feel like he didn't name drop his dad.
Oh, no, I knew it before he got there.
But what I'm saying is he didn't do it to the guy who tried to steal his bike. He didn't say like, hey, my dad's going to come out and get you.
He was like, here, take it. He said the guy was going to punch him. I said, well, that's when you punch him in the throat twice and drag him in the fucking...
Kick him in the nuts and
pull his shirt over.
Yeah, damn it! I kick him in the nuts.
Yeah, you gotta just go
Cartman.
postal on the guy.
Well,
I mean, why not?
Well,
welcome to New Jersey. It's Goosey Night.
There you go. So No, we don't. But hey, look, we've got your video of last night. So,
All right,
so here
let's
we
let it
go.
rip.
Bring it on.
All right, here we are, live with Neve. I am here. It's the Highlands Horror Film Fest. Here we are in my beautiful small town of Highlands, place I love to be. And look at some of our, look at this guy, big skull down here. Got this. Look at this. I'll have to call Julie back. She's missing out on all the ghouls and goblins and wonderful stuff like that. The Field of Screams. I love it. Dante Hicks. I wasn't supposed to be here today. Rendell Graves. Bunch of savages down here. And there's Baba Booey. Jay Snoochie Boochies. You Better Hide. Dracula. And there she is, Jason Voorhees. Look at that. I think I know these people. Legend has it they're part of the Halloween Spooktacular. So here we are, running to the end of our tour. What do you say? Not much, I guess, today. Live with Neve. I'll be back. Look at them. Here they are. Here's some other folks heading into the Horror Fest. Ah! Prepare to be scared.
Excited.
All right, all right.
So it looks like you had a great turnout.
It was
Inside.
a great turnout. He did very good, and everybody was having fun. It was interesting because I think people really got off on the fact they were voting. I could sense some excitement that people were, doing their vote.
It was
And
their
it was cool.
audience
I liked it.
So,
participation.
do they vote for whoever's the best film?
Whoever they think, and they give out prizes that are rated up and down. But I got to say again, Mike, cheers to Rob Neller and whoever helped him. I know his long-suffering wife. I'm kidding. She's a lovely lady, and she's like, "Who's this asshole on TV talking about me? He doesn't know me." Any rate, that's okay. Don't worry. You can send all complaints to the fourth floor. We have someone up there waiting for you. So,
Well, yes.
go ahead, Jules. We got 2
No,
minutes. So where are we going to go from here?
Well, no, we have a break up, but there was something when I was up in Highlands this summer with Neil. We were doing some shooting in New York, and we also went to Sandy Hook Beach to go shoot. And that was interesting. We had Nancy Kravis, the wonderful photographer. Thank you so much. So we were checking out some ruins and stuff and shooting in different places. And I decided to try an EVP just to see. I didn't even listen to it until today. And I mean,
Is
this
that
is
like
coming.
an STD?
No, wrong acronym.
Those
but
are filthy
thank you.
ghosts.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you can't get an STD from an EVP yet. So anyhow, what the interesting thing is here, so I haven't done anything to the audio at all. I did not even clean it up. Okay, so I just left it as is. So you'll hear some like gravel crunching, and that's Nancy, our photographer, Nancy Kravis, wonderful photographer, and that's her walking around. You may even hear like I think maybe Neil. I think you might be echoing a little bit in the background. But there is something really interesting. Every time I ask a question, there was a very odd response, and I'm not going to go much further into what it is, but you'll catch it if you listen. If you listen, you'll catch it, and you'll notice there are 2 questions in a row that I ask, and this thing does not respond. But every other question I ask, it responds. Even at one point, I started to talk, and it started responding over me. So I'm sorry. It was kind of interesting, especially since, like I said, I didn't check it until today. So we're gonna go to that, but first we're gonna go to a break really quick, and then we'll be right back.
Be right back.
So,
Creepy.
yeah. So, anyways, that's our that's for to go back. That is every Saturday this month at 8 p.m. Join us here and live with me for the Halloween horror hour. So it is yes. So we have like what is this? This is our second Saturday in October.
Yes, that's
So we have 3 more
correct. Last week
Saturdays.
we did the Raven. We had the Raven, and we had the poem.
We did all Edgar Allan Poe.
Lenore that you did, yes.
Yes, and Irish did it alone. And we had some cool stuff. We had some haunted paintings and stuff. Well, but back to Sandy Hook and the EVP now. So now that we had our break, let's get into that. Now again,
I want to hear it.
just to remind everybody, you'll hear gravel crunching. That is Nancy Kravis, our awesome photographer. You may hear Neil in the background, but you will clearly hear something responding after every question, except for 2 questions in a row. 2 questions in a row, there's no response. Listen carefully. I have not even done any cleanup at all to the video, or the audio. So here we go. Is there anybody in here who'd like to say something to us? Go ahead. You can speak. What happened to you? It's all good. You can talk to us. What's your name? Did you die here? What did you die of? How old are you? What's your name? Do you have any family left here? Would you like us to give them a message? Cool. Thank you. So, what did you hear? Did you hear anything?
It sounded like there was like a wind, almost like a wind blowing.
Very
Neil?
high-pitched. I heard very high-pitched something. I couldn't tell exactly what.
Did you hear the trilling of the bird trilling?
Yes.
Did you hear that?
I did.
Okay, did you notice it responded, it trilled after every question I asked, except the 2 questions were, did you die here? And how did you die? And neither time did it respond. There was no bird twittering. Did you guys hear it or not?
I did hear it. Now that you say it, I thought it was a bird.
Let me put it back again, but
very
listen
faint.
carefully. Listen carefully. Okay, listen carefully.
We're going to run it again.
Is there anybody in here who'd like to say something to us?
Hello?
Go ahead. You can speak. What happened to you? It's all good. You can talk to us. What's your name? Did you die here? What did you die of? How old are you? What's your name? Do you have any family left here? Would you like us to give them a message? Cool. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
You're
I couldn't tell.
I heard it.
Did you hear it, Irish?
Yeah. I had to listen to it that time, but I was like listening to like before. I thought it was like I heard like wind blowing, and I'm like trying to decipher something there, so I didn't even hear the bird the first time.
So, but did it strike you the way it struck me, or am I just totally crazy off my rocker?
I don't know. It answered pretty kind of on cue.
Except for those 2
Look at
questions,
who we're
right?
talking
Yeah.
to here. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Neil, I can't believe you can hear it. That sucks, bro. Anyways, I was so like excited about it. So I'm like, this is the weirdest thing because you hear it. I mean, it's very deliberate, right? It's like,
it felt like it, yeah.
yeah. I mean, it didn't it? Anyways, that was my excitement for today.
Well, in ancient Greek tales and literature, there was the psychopomps, which were invoked by Stephen King in one of his books.
Oh yeah,
The book Thinner, maybe.
yeah. No, it was a Dark Knight or
Yeah.
Dark Tower.
No. It was before that.
No?
It was. There's birds. He always saw black birds, and he was like him as a kid writing. Right? Isn't that the movie?
Yeah, that's it.
And there's
then
black
at the
birds
end,
everywhere.
Oh, shit, I
the
do
bad
remember
guy
that.
gets carried off by the
Mhm.
psychopomps, which are these little things that carry your ass to hell. I guess they bite you to pieces and then crap you out in hell and fly out. I don't know.
That sounds pretty
Yeah.
horrible. That sounds pretty
Funny.
shitty.
I didn't know hell's supposed to be pretty bad. I figure that's not a good way to go.
Probably not, no.
It's not like you got a backstage pass and you're in there with some like high rollers like Madoff and shit.
Yeah, there you go, because that's going to be
Madoff
helping.
lives in a little tiny like Brooklyn apartment with no air conditioning. It's always sweltering.
That'd be the worst way to die. That's like one of the horror things, like when they had
deviled ham
Jurassic
for
Park.
breakfast.
Ugh.
Yeah. That expands. Let's think about this, guys. What is the range of what constitutes horror? Because it could go from, say, Alien with science fiction all the way back to just the stabby cat, then
Gore.
Gore, and then you've got the real classics. Like to me,
Paranormal.
Dracula is just to me it's just one of the best things to read. It's great if you have kids to read Dracula to them in a dark room. Now that'll scare the little shitter.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you because I'm like I'm like a purist. I love the classics and everything like that. Like when they redid the Wolfman with I can't think of his name.
Jack Nicholson.
Benicio del Toro a few years ago.
There you go.
Oh,
Benicio del Toro.
okay, yeah.
That was I love
That was
him.
a good job.
He's
Anthony
such a brilliant
Hopkins
actor.
was in that.
Yes, he was. Yes, and Benicio is such a brilliant actor too. And I mean, I love that version. I mean, it wasn't the original, but it was very close, and they reshot the similar scenes and stuff, and it was a really good one. But yeah, I mean,
I thought it was. I thought you were talking about Jack Nicholson's Wolf. Remember when he did Wolf?
Yes.
That was a great movie.
That was a great
Michelle
movie.
Pfeiffer as well.
Yeah.
Oh, Michelle.
It was an amazing movie. What other good wolf movies are there? Oh, have you ever seen Dog Soldiers? It's British.
I haven't seen that one.
Dude, that is the very best werewolf movie, including Underworld, that I've ever seen. Dog Soldiers. Dog Soldiers, check it out. It's British, it's UK film, whatever, international film. It is fucking so good. It's totally
just
different.
vampire and werewolf alone, you get so many different cool genres. American Werewolf in Paris.
Yeah, there you go.
That was,
in London.
That was fun. I loved. I had been in Paris that year. Around
Oh,
the
really?
time it came out, or about the time I watched it, I should say. I don't know exactly when it was shot, but I was chuckling up there on the Eiffel Tower, looking around at where they'd filmed it, and I got a chuckle.
Oh, that's
like,
cool.
Fucking werewolf,
Yeah, right.
Kind of a very funny comedic spin on the vampire or the wolf.
Werewolf thing. Oh, yeah. That's a fun movie.
Was for me as a kid one of the most terrifying movies, and I don't know why. I mean, they were all
Werewolf in Paris or London?
No,
Both of them were great.
The Wolfman, the werewolf,
the Wolfman.
Lon
Okay.
Chaney, all that stuff.
Lon Chaney. That's who we were trying to think of last night.
He's just the best. I mean,
Yeah, we had Bela Lugosi. We can remember Lon Chaney.
Yeah, that was cool, but I mean, there was other ones that were like legit scary, like The Howling.
Oh yeah, that was. The first one was, and then then I actually tried to watch the progression, and it was like they were getting more and more B film than C film, and it was so bad. It was like I'm like, oh my god.
For video only release in the Philippines.
Right. Exactly, pretty much.
With subtitles.
Yeah. That's kind of what it was, but yeah, that's a good one. So the monster movies. So vampires, werewolves, Underworld. I really have to say, they did an amazing job.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
The first one was really superb.
The second one was pretty good too. It continued,
Yeah.
For making something out of a video game and out of nothing, that's pretty cool. but just the fact it did as well as it did, it's kind of a new thing. It's. I think it's sometimes risky using technology in movies. Like
Yeah, because
sometimes
you got to do it
limits
right.
it
Because
so
that's what we were
much.
talking about last night too. Yeah.
You see Apple logos everywhere nowadays, and everybody's like, "Oh, this great company, man! They preserve our privacy and blah blah blah." But it's just another dime to them, in a sea of many dimes a day. And I don't know. Um,
I don't know. The Van Helsing was pretty good. That got remade.
Yes,
They
Hugh
had some pretty
Jackman.
good CGI on there.
Yeah, that
yes,
wasn't
that
too
did.
bad. But I
Hmm.
still have to go back to what as Irish and I were talking about last night was, I got to go back. I love Godzilla and the
Oh
dude in the
yeah,
rubber suit and the set and just destroying shit. That's
Ultraman.
why yes, and that's why like the original Pet Cemetery is much
Uh,
scarier to me than the new one, because the new one, it was all
yeah.
CGI'd, and the
Right.
original is all animatronics, and it's fucking real because it's real. It's
Yeah.
actually there. It helps you
Absolutely.
suspend your reality. When I'm looking at a computer image, I know, and it like totally kills it for me. You know what I
I,
mean?
I agree. It's sort of like me with the meatloaf guy behind me. It looks like it's gonna just reach out and
He really
latch
does
onto
look
my
like he's trying
head,
to eat you.
eat my head. Yeah, could be.
That was what Jim Henson,
Adrian.
man, his puppeteering and his animatronics. I mean, what a freaking phenom
Oh
of
God.
being able to
Oh,
capture emotions in monsters,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
or
Another
or, or
one of
for
my
that
favorite.
sakes, Sesame Street or the Muppets. They all were
Yeah.
able to capture that emotion in it. That was some talent, man. That guy was talented.
Like I said,
I
God's
I
gift to
dug the
children.
the count. The count was my dude when I had my kids. Those were
Oh,
my
oh, oh,
first
oh,
kids.
oh, oh, oh,
And the count.
oh,
The
oh, oh.
count
Yeah, I love
says
the
I'm
count
going to
too.
count. How many balls do you have?
Oh, 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 oh,
You have
oh,
two breasts.
oh, 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 oh.
You knew you couldn't. You take Sesame Street there, but then again, Omo ended up being a pedophile. So what do you say?
Okay.
In this day and age, if you can buy it in New York, it's not torture or probably illegal.
Oh my God. Hey, well, do you guys want to watch? It's kind of we had it last week, but what did you think about like the haunted paintings thing? Do you want to try to rerun that one and see? Was that
Sure.
creepy enough for you guys or
They
no?
were they were pretty freaking creepy, man.
Pretty
I
creepy.
don't know. I think like pedophile Elmo is pretty creepy. That's you know what I mean. Like, ah, I want to
Oh,
play with you.
hi, kitties. You want to come on my roller coaster?
I just got Jules.
I know she's like having a bad moment. We have to give her
Dude,
an IV
that's
drip,
like
ringers.
the dude. Wow, what the
Yeah. Do
Jesus
you ever have
God?
those wow moments on the show?
Are you kidding?
Yeah. Well,
Like every time, every
yeah.
day.
That
Who
raises a
doesn't?
two on the snort nozzle.
But hey, if you don't have those wow moments, there's no point, right? Because that's what it
Well, I
is. It's
agree. Why
entertainment.
do it?
What do you
It's
Absolutely.
do?
got to be wow.
You
So
know, I've
yeah.
we are like number 3 in late night views in the Philippines. The
Yes.
past 2 weeks in a shit. I mean, that's like we're showing a huge increase. I'm not sure
Yay,
why, but
Philippines. Thank you,
hey,
thank you, thank you.
Philippines,
Hey, shout
glad
out
you're
to the
digging us.
Philippines.
That was something I haven't tried yet. Is I want to try like some Filipino cuisine.
Ah, maybe
Every
we'll.
time I go down to like different parts of Detroit, they have food everywhere, different foods.
Mhm.
And I've been like to the pad thai, and I've been to all that, but I don't think I've had Filipino cuisine yet. I think I would like to try it.
Well, there you go.
I'm a big eater.
So,
Oh yeah.
do you guys want to talk more haunted or more scary stories, or what do you guys want to? You
Hmm.
want to replay something we had from last week that was scary? What do you guys want to do? We've got
Well, we're
comments.
right at break
Yeah.
time, so we
Yeah.
could
So,
run the scary thing, and then we'll come back after that.
all righty, let's do that.
I think.
Top 5 most haunted paintings in the world. In the 1800s, Norwegian painter Edvard Munch starts out our list with The Dead Mother. Although renowned for his painting The Scream, Munch had suffered tragedy in childhood when tuberculosis robbed the young painter of his mother and 2 siblings. The little girl in the painting stands in front of the deathbed of her mother, who clearly has passed on. Previous owners of the painting warn the little girl's eyes follow the viewer wherever they move, while others say they have also heard the sheets of the mother's bed moving and rustling. The painting is now in Bremen at the Kunsthalle. Number 4. Samantha King was the daughter of a senator during the late 1880s. Unfortunately, 4-year-old Samantha was killed after falling down a flight of stairs at the Driscoll Hotel in Austin, Texas. 1 week after her death, visitors claimed to see her ghost playing with the ball she was chasing when she died. There are other reports that Samantha can be heard giggling throughout the hotel and near the stairs where she fell to her very untimely death. Richard King, Samantha's grieving father, hired a painter to remember his daughter as she was in life. Yet present day, Driscoll Hotel employees and visitors state they feel nauseous, like they're being lifted into the air or rolling down a set of stairs, or they feel violated. Some say, if you stare at the painting long enough, Samantha's face contorts or her face widens into a smile. Check out the Yellow Rose Suite in the Driscoll next to Samantha's painting. You may just hear her wiggle the door handles and giggle. Number 3. The Crying Boy. The Crying Boy painting is known to be cursed, as the UK had alleged stories of dozens of house fires during the 1980s. Each where a copy of this cursed print was supposedly hung in each home, which was then later destroyed by fire. Each print was preserved and untouched by the smoke and flames. One owner said her entire painting collection was destroyed along with her home, all except for one, the Crying Boy. It still hung clean and free of damage from the house fire, just as each UK resident supposedly claimed of their print of the painting after they lost their home to fire. That painting of the Crying Boy still remained unsinged. Some alleged reports say owners tried to burn their print of the Crying Boy. However, not one flame can even touch it. Number 2. The Anguished Man. Painter unknown. Why unknown? Sean Robinson, owner of the Anguished Man portrait, shares a macabre story. Robinson shares the unnamed artist was highly disturbed, mixing his own blood into the paint, thus seemingly transferring his anguish onto the canvas. Soon after the painting was completed, the tale goes on to warn the troubled painter committed suicide. Robinson claims the painting causes many household disturbances, such as moaning, strange sounds, pets who behave distressed and full of anxiety, plus bizarre, shadowy figures, and more. Robinson kept a log of the hauntings he experienced as they worsened the longer he kept the painting out. Robinson states the painting is safely stored now, away from harming anyone. And now we come to number 1. The most haunted painting in the world. The Hands Resist Him by Bill Stonheim. The Hands Resist Him, painted as an expression of the artist's adoption, has been deemed the most haunted painting in the world. Goosebumps and chills tingle just at the utterance of the title. You see the artist as a boy next to a creepy, black-eyed, life-sized doll. Owners have stated the doll comes to life, as does the boy, claiming they leave the painting at night. Others have taken infrared images of the picture and have found the doll and boy to be hot. The creepiest part of the painting is not just the black-eyed doll or the boy's expression. It's the disembodied hands reaching from the blackness, pressing against the glass doors to the boy's back. The Hands Resist Him seems to express it all in that title. Chills, goosebumps run up and down at the mere mention of the title of that piece. When the painting was purchased from a gallery in the mid-1970s, a decade later, the owner of the gallery, an art critic whom had written about the painting, and the buyer himself of the painting had all died suddenly. The Hands Resist Him is safely stored away at a different gallery now. Claims that even the print itself has the power to make people physically ill and cause blackouts. The Hands Resist Him. The number 1 haunted painting in the world. Good night. Sleep tight. And don't let any of these creepy paintings come to life.
Can I get into bed with you?
Had to go loud at the end there because you're sitting there like watching it and all the time, and then Jules hits you with the noise. You're like, shit.
I love watching Irish's reactions every single time.
I can't stand that little kid laughing shit between that and like when you know that the little demon kid's in the house and you can't see him, and then you hear like, Dad, fuck you.
It's not I'd kick like a horse, man. Pop that little bastard across the room. Seriously. It's like that movie. What is the one where the creepy little thing climbs out of the television? It's a really spooky.
The Ring, my favorite film ever.
Yes, The Ring.
Yes, because of
Actually, we watched that together at your house with my oldest. Lisa.
Yeah,
So
remember how remember when we were watching and the phone rang after the video popped on? My phone rang just out of the blue like that.
Yep,
and
I do.
remember, and we waited, and the answering machine picked up, and nothing was there. It was just so
It wasn't
weird.
the pizza guy or nothing, you know.
No, it was just the weirdest.
It was the
thing.
real world way to deal with it. I'm just not going to answer the fucking phone. But in the horror movies, you know not to answer the phone. Like five people have been, disemboweled, sodomized and everything else for answering the fucking phone.
Text.
So you watch this thing and then the phone rings and you go,
No.
why would you pick up the phone?
It's the same thing. Like, you don't run up and in or in and up. You'll run down and out. And
Yes.
and I'm sorry, but if I'm running for my
Cardio.
life, exactly. If I'm running for my life, it's happened a few times. I am like a fucking gazelle. I am jumping over shit left and right, man.
It's weird what adrenaline does to your feet. It turns
Yeah.
him
Really
into.
just want to do, you want to reach back, have two good-sized handguns and a couple of drop guns in your leg, and then just drop that big stinking zombie right on his ass. He should
Well,
tumble
yeah,
Right,
and
but in the movies they never do that. They'll be like, there was a commercial on the other day that had something like that. It was like there's an axe murderer with a chainsaw and an axe chasing these kids, and like, look, there's a running car. Let's go. Like, no, why would you do that? Let's go hide behind the axes and the chainsaws.
you're right, exactly. And it's like that. But you know who did it really well is Jeepers Creepers in the first one when the chick at the end when she starts driving over the creeper over and over again.
Yeah,
and
again
brother's-
and again and again, like
And he's
fucker.
screaming. He's like, "Stop, stop!" He's like, "They're never dead." And she just keeps going back and forth. I'm like, "Yeah, now you deserve to live," But everybody
Hey,
else who
there we
trips
go.
and does stupid stuff, I'm like, I pray.
Yeah.
I'm like, I root for them to
I
die
start
because they're so
hoping for characters
stupid.
to get done.
Yes,
It's sort of like
that's what
real
I'm
life.
saying.
I've had jobs where you just pray the zombie apocalypse happens. And he gets the fat
There's
one
always
in the
that,
first
though, too.
booth.
We always root for the bad guy to like stay alive. Like when Pinhead gets killed in Hellraisers,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
you see him come back, you're like, he's gonna come back.
Well, because he's the anti-hero. He's he's the whole reason you're there. Like
Exactly.
Freddy and like Jason and Michael Myers and everybody else. I mean, they're the
Yeah, there
hero.
is a new Mike Myers movie, I think, coming out.
A new Halloween.
Yes.
Rob Zombie
Jamie-
or
Jamie
the
Lee.
the other guy?
It's Rob.
No, I don't think it's Rob Zombie. I'm not sure who's doing it.
Hmm.
Well,
That's
Rob
okay.
Zombie
So-
killed Halloween. He did a great job with it, dude.
Absolutely, the guy has his skills. I have to say, I've been really digging his new record, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, you keep. Yeah, you're always listening to it, man. When we're working, you're listening to that. You're like,
Yeah,
man, it's so
cranked up.
great.
It is. It's just like, people forget what good. There's just not much good stuff being produced. That's a band who comes out and they're excellent in every way. I mean,
Yeah,
whether you
he's the
like
man.
what they do. To me, I like good, well-crafted shit. That's
Exactly.
going on right now. And then I've also been listening because we've been trying to get the interview with Marilyn now for over a year, and
Yeah.
Marilyn Manson's laying low. But I'm going to say this, Marilyn, if you get my video, dude, get out and tell them all to fuck off,
Oh,
Listen to
yeah,
the
and-
lawyers talk, and don't listen to any of that jive. I mean, really.
And by the
They had
way,
something,
yeah.
But-
I'm
but
sorry.
they
Go
had
ahead.
something, he'd already be, sitting in time waiting to go to jail. I'm pretty sure if, all I can say is, Marilyn, come on the show. You had a happy audience here. We'll get you comfortable. We'll send you, we'll serve you with some, I don't know, we'll have some interesting characters to be your waiting staff in the green room.
You know,
Appreciate
I
it.
remember like listening to the shock rock when Manson came out was a lot like the Cooper rock back in the day and stuff like that. But he is a very smart guy.
Mhm.
And like he
Yeah,
did an
yeah.
interview about the Columbine kids and the Columbine shooting
Right.
situation. And
Mhm.
he was asked, well, what would you have done or what would you have said to them had you, been able to talk to? He said, I wouldn't have said anything. I'd have listened to them. And that's something nobody else did.
Mhm.
And ever since he said that about those kids, I was like, damn, yeah,
He's got.
he thought about it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen
And
people try and give him like a hostile interview, and a lot of these reporters
Excuse me.
and reporterettes out there have the IQ of a sea sponge, and when they start really trying to talk to someone that they don't understand or know anything about, it was like Leland Sklar talking about being up in Norway, and she was like, you have a nice beard, and where did your name come from?
yeah, how long have you had your beard and all
I
that
had
stuff?
no idea who
Who he
or
was.
why he was there. It was a
And-
BBC local affiliate.
And see, here's the trick. It's a mastery. It's a craft. Media is a craft. It's not what everybody is.
Absolutely.
It's like a peeling an onion. It goes on forever. And it's always
Mhm.
evolving every single day. So there's a craft and there's a way to interview and talk to people and stuff. So yeah, strategy. But anyways, it's time for us to go, I guess.
Kreskin.
Yeah. So everyone have a spooky weekend this weekend. And we'll see you next time.
Well, I
Yes.
haven't heard from my ex-wife lately, so that's good. I hope.
Oh,
she doesn't
no.
have a spooky. I don't want to have a spooky Halloween. Talk
All right,
about
guys.
Spooky.
We'll
That's
get your
fucking
Neil and
awesome.
your little kitty too.
Yikes.
Yeah,
Because
I'm
on
getting
that
Rob
note,
Zombie to do a movie about her. It'd be some kind of fun.
Jesus God. Okay, on that note. Bye.